Shalom and good day, all. This is Tehillim29 back again for some indie comic reviews, and in these indie comic reviews I am covering Redcoat issue 12 along with Rogue Sun issue 27. I'll now get things ready and organised for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So starting off with first things first, in relation to Redcoat, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it an 8 out of 10, and seeing it every one of these covers actually seems to be a wraparound cover with Redcoat covering the character of Simon Pure, and also many of the people that we get introduced to in the series, from Albert Einstein to Johnny Appleseed and many others, including Annie Oakley. I hope we do get to see Calamity Jane, because I think that would be really cool. So now it's time to move into the area of the internal art, as we have a look around the beginning, middle, of course, and of course the end, and also what is happening story-wise with the characters within the story. So as the story begins, we catch up with both the Northerner and also our Redcoat, Simon Pure, as they are in a bit of a discussion, and he also learns that the Northerner is also with an orphan who seems to be of this period. As the story continues, we get to see what is happening in regards to the area of the Civil War, and of course we get the Confederates, if I remember, along with who would be considered the Redcoats in this time with this particular Civil War, and of course we get to see an appearance of a Snickers bar. I wonder who that belongs to. As we start to draw towards the end, we finally have Simon Pure and the Northerner working together in this particular scenario of things that are about to take place. So for the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Next is the area of the story. Considering how far we are, have we gotten any comic book references to any of the previous issues? The answer is no. Next is the area of time, to which we are learning that this is actually starting to take place in the time and place of the Civil War. Of course, this is taking place in the USA in location. And the cast of characters consisting of Simon Pure, the Northerner, and last but not least, someone known as the Cobbler, who we have not yet met, but no doubt is a new addition to the series. For my overall rating, I give it a 7 out of 10 for the story. Now it's time to move into Rogue Sun, issue 27. So, as we start to move into Rogue Sun, issue 27, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? It does, because we do actually get the introduction of this villain, but we don't really get the villain's name, which I think is a real disappointment, because I would have actually liked to have learned the name of the character, because he seems to have like a special way as to how he's used, or how he's able to use his particular gas that he's with him, and he seems to have like almost like a telekinetic type control with it. So now it's time to move into the area of the internal art, as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what is happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we are at the Bell Estate, and we have Dylan Bell, who is teaching someone else who has sort of like a sunstone similar to his, and she does plan on sort of like changing her hero name, and we'll get to see that towards the end. So now it's time to move towards the middle of the story. As we start to move towards the middle of the story, we do finally meet the villain that is actually on the cover, and as I mentioned before, you can see the way how he able to basically use a form of telekinesis with this particular gas of sorts that's also with him. And he also uses it against the people he sees as his opponents, and also bring in a bit of control. Last but not least, we move towards the end, to which Dylan Bell must now go up against this particular villain, because he's, I guess, his supporting character, who wants to be known as Night Sun, which we learn towards the end of this. Tries to go up against him, but loses. So for the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. Considering how far we are issue-wise, did we get any references to any of the previous issues? No, we didn't. Next is the area of time. Do we know when this is taking place time-wise? No, we don't. Because of these elements not being included in the story, it has led to loss of points and is going to affect the story rating. I was hoping of adding it, making the story rating a little bit higher if it did include these points, but it is what it's going to be at the end of this. Next is the location. We have the Bell Estate. We also have the Crescent City and the Crescent City High School and the things that are taking place there. Last but not least, we have the cast of characters consisting of Dylan Bow, who is Rogue's son. We have Marcus, so we still have his old man talking to him, sort of like through the suit. We also have Morningstar, we have Gwen, we have the character of Caleb, the moniker, and last but not least, I managed to recognize the character of Dottie. If I remember, I think her daughter Divinity is playing the role of who will be the character of Night Sun in this series. For the overall story rating, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.